This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Katriana to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we're really excited to have your support. Plus, we want to acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. In this episode, we're talking about chapter 17 and 18 of The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah,
I almost said The Great Hunt, but I didn't.
You didn't.
It's
and
the Dragon Reborn.
You're feeling better now. So.
I am feeling better.
Yeah, your voice is back. That's exciting.
Yep.
Chapter 17, we have The Red Sister.
Yeah.
And chapter 8...
Teen.
is healing.
Yep.
The one we've been waiting for so long.
I really have.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's been like a long road, but we finally made it.
Yes.
We're here.
The road to Matt's recovery.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I guess so.
The road to Matt's healing, anyway.
Matt got healed, but we don't know what else happened to him.
Oh, lots of weird crap.
Yeah.
It was a really short chapter, but so much happened.
Yeah, these are very condensed chapters, but
yes.
Again, lots to talk about. So we got to dissect a couple things, and we got to get some theories because you had a lot of crazy theories last episode that some may or may not be right. We're not really sure.
Yeah, that's my specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being like maybe right and maybe wrong.
Being crazy.
Yeah.
Saying crazy things. Okay, start us off.
Yeah, so this one's actually kind of a neat little fun fact that I found out because we get introduced to a new Sa'angreal.
Yes.
That the Amerlin seat uses during Matt's healing. Yeah.
And if you think I don't have a wand reference for you later...
Well, let me tell you something.
You got another thing coming.
This fun fact is about wands.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got introduced to a white fluted wand, the length of her forearm, that is basically made of some unknown substance. We're not really sure.
Uh-huh.
So I had to look into the history of wands.
What is a fluted wand?
Basically just means like has grooves or it's like ridged, so not perfectly smooth, I suppose. Yeah.
Doesn't play magical music.
Maybe. I'm just thinking now like the white Power Ranger with his fluted wand.
Yeah, is it a flute?
It's just a flute, I think.
Yeah, it's just a flute.
But yeah, so wands date back like really far, and the first written reference of magic wands come from Homer in his works, the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Right.
So like way back when. So basically Greek mythology had the first written references to wands being used by the gods. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about the symbolism in this chapter because we have the Amerlin seat, who is like the leader of the Aes Sedai, using this fluted white wand.
Right.
And a little dive into Wikipedia on white wands brings you to that a white wand was the primary symbol of Gaelic kings or lords for their legitimate authority, and it was the principal prop used in their inauguration ceremonies. So way back when, the lords would actually have a straight white rod that was used as a symbol of their power and authority.
Ah.
So that's very similar to what we see with Swan using the white rod in the healing.
Sort of.
Yeah, so basically...
I could see how you stretched to that connection.
Yeah, it's just a fun... little bit later on, we'll get to it.
Okay.
But the connection of who holds the white rod or the white wand is like the true leader of the Aes Sedai here.
That's true. Okay.
So tuck that away, and we'll come back to it later.
Sure. Do you want your shot now or like later?
Nah, that's barely a reference. I didn't talk at all about the fact that Harry Potter used a wand.
Okay, well, I'll get to it later then.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Okay, so getting into chapter 17, the Red Sister, before we get into this wand business.
Yeah.
So we get the picture for the Flame of Tarvalin.
Yes.
And I just thought, okay, well, I guess she's not the Dark Friend.
Oh, because you're looking...
Or like Black Aja.
Do you think you're just going to get like notified every time there's like a Black Aja?
Yeah, well,
They're just going to be like, this is one...
Well, with the picture, the last couple chapters, we got the little Dark Friend symbol picture.
If that's what you are interpreting it as,
That's what I did.
Yeah, okay. So, Black Aja will show up when that symbol shows up.
Probably.
And never again other times.
No, it'll show up when other Dark Friends show up.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
We'll see how that theory plays out.
Yeah. But now that I'm thinking about it, probably not the greatest.
But, hey, We're still in Tar-Valon, so that counts.
Yeah, okay. All right, anyway. So the last time we were here, Egwene and Nynaeve were almost killed by a gray man in the White Tower. So that's bad.
Yeah.
And Galad and Gawain really want to know where Elaine vanished to for months, but no one is budging on telling them.
Yeah. Morghese is still pissed.
Yep.
And that was all caused by Elaine.
Yeah.
And that's kind of super
Elaine's
relevant.
Disappearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is that's really relevant in this chapter we're going into.
Yeah, it is. And then also, these ladies have just decided to heal Matt on their own.
Yeah.
Somehow.
They're like, we're going to figure it out. We're stronger than everybody.
Yeah. Which is like, it's going to their heads a little bit how strong they are.
A little bit. This is why you should never give anybody praise ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right. Don't tell anybody about their potential.
Especially when they're new to something.
Yeah.
Just like, rip them down. Say, you're terrible. You should probably quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, getting into this chapter, an Aes Sedai busts into Nynaeve's room where Elaine and Egwene are hanging out, discussing healing Matt on their own, and they get cut off because it is Elida.
Which you did kind of sort of predict.
Because I did.
Yeah, it's like the only real red sister.
It's the only other red sister I know, and I didn't think it was going to be Leandrin.
Well, wouldn't that be a surprise?
Oh, that would have been bad.
But I mean, hey, Elida, this is big news.
Yeah.
Because she's not happy.
No, she's not. I also noticed that when she was described...
Yeah?
She is wearing red slippers.
Oh, okay.
And you know what that reminds me of?
What?
The green slippers that the lady dark friend on the Camelin Road was wearing.
Sure.
And I suspected her of being Aes Sedai.
Oh.
Because she was dressed like all in green and had green slippers.
Yeah. No, I get that. Was that the one with the knife that had the green slippers?
Yeah.
In the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot.
The green Aes Sedai in the barn with a knife.
But again, we kind of talked about that. If she was Aes Sedai, why didn't she, use the power?
'Cause.
At all.
'Cause.
Ever.
'Cause.
Okay, all right. Good theory. But I do like the color-coded system of slippers.
Well, the slippers.
Yeah.
The green slippers and the red slippers.
Yeah. I thought you were going to be more... Okay, no, that's fine. That's good.
What did you think?
No.
You don't like that?
No. Well, you brought up the red slippers, and I thought you were going to talk about how Elida is clearly, showing off which Ajah she's a part of.
Yeah.
It's a power
she is,
move.
But I think they all do that.
Well, down in the chambers, in the healing, that really wasn't a thing. But, kind of, sort of.
But, I mean, Moraine decked out in blue, and...
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of get the color choices.
The only thing that she's really showing off here is she's wearing her shawl.
Yeah.
Around.
She is.
Which is typically reserved for formal occasions.
Yes.
Not just berating Elaine.
Yeah.
Speaking of berating Elaine, Nynaeve tries to leave here.
Which is hilarious.
She's like, I gotta do some studying.
Gotta do my homework. I totally
See
forgot.
Ya. And Elida's not having that. And then Elaine tries to speak, but Elida says that she has broken a bond that had existed between Tar-Valon and Camelin for 1,000 years, so she doesn't get to speak.
Yeah. So I kind of want to point this out, too, because one thing we got to talk about is the relationship between Elaine and Elida.
Yeah.
Because they clearly have a long history in the palace in Camelin.
Yeah.
So I kind of imagine that while she was daughter heir, right, the princess basically, she can be a little less formal with Elida even though she's an Aes Sedai, just because you're always around each other. But here, Elida is, really bringing down the hammer on you are a novice, you're no longer daughter heir here.
Right. I also think that there's probably some history of them not really getting along.
Yeah.
Because Elaine is pissed.
Yeah.
She hates this. And she hates that Elida's here and talking to her like this.
Yeah, I mean, Elaine's kind of person who uses the the daughter heir card a lot. Don't you know my mother?
Yes,
so
she certainly does.
Not working here.
No. So Elida asks them if they know that there are black Ajah here.
Yeah. Quiz time.
Oh, yeah?
When was the last time we had someone come in and tell these girls the Black Ajah's real?
Leandrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last red sister they came across.
Right.
She busts and was like, Black Ajah's real. We gotta go.
Well, she sort of said, Black Ajah's real. Don't talk to anyone. Don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
That's the card she used.
Yeah.
This is a little different.
It's a little different.
It's different.
Okay. Are you at all suspicious? I gotta put this on
Not
the
of
table.
Elida.
No? Okay.
Nope. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
No, because she's being the same Elida
That we've always
that
seen?
we've always seen.
Yeah. It's just kind of funny because, like, Nynaeve clearly is still on watch, too.
I'm also on Dark Friend watch. I'm on Black Azure watch.
No,
all
I get
the time.
that. I get it. I just gotta see where your suspicions are.
Yeah, not here.
Not with Elida.
Not right now, anyway.
She's just a jerk.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. A jerk is like a really nice word.
Yeah.
Like, that is not a word I would have
used.
used.
She's a bully?
You bully.
Yeah.
A meanie.
A meanie.
Meanie, knucklehead. Yeah. So, Nynaeve just sort of goes, we were told. And then she goes on about how Elaine was, like, carried off by these two. And then Elaine says, no, I wasn't carried off. I went off on my own.
Yeah, that's
Which, like,
better.
does that make it better? No.
It's, like, not relevant right now.
No, but then Elida glows with the power and says, must I teach you now? Like, threatening her with the power?
Yeah.
And then Elaine shuts right up.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's, like, a lot of resentment here going on, too, so. But when we're talking about threatening Elaine here...
Yeah.
Is she threatening with just, like, a beating, kind of like Sheriam does as Mistress of Novices?
With the power, though?
I don't know. Like, we don't really know exactly how those, disciplinary actions take place.
With a switch.
With a switch. Okay. So, like,
Yeah.
what is Elida implying she's gonna do?
Well, later, Elaine says that she threatened me with stilling.
Do you think that's what's happening here?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
think that it's all threats. Like,
Yeah.
an empty threat.
She's being a bully.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what she's doing. But it just depends on whether or not she has ever carried through with disciplining Elaine with the power in the past. Because that does raise my suspicions slightly. Because that is Leandrin-like.
Yeah,
Using
okay.
the power to threaten someone and hurt them to get answers or teach them a lesson. And definitely not allowed.
Well, it's kind of, like, interesting because the Aes Sedai, like, moral codes is don't use the power as a weapon, but then they also say, apparently, like, Elida has no problem, beating you with the power into submission here, so...
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I kind of glazed over that, but now I'm thinking there might be more to it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a weird take.
Yeah.
And then Elaine clearly reads something way different into it. Like, I don't think she's in any real threat of being stilled here by Elida.
No.
But...
I don't even think that's how stilling works.
Well, we don't. And again, we don't know yet how that exactly... Like, what's the protocol.
Although, Elida, being a red sister... would have the knowledge of how to gentle someone.
Oh, for sure.
That's their, like, main...
That's their main
thing.
deal. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Apparently, they do it all the time. They love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can kind of tuck that away,
we'll have to get back to that, because now I'm thinking.
Oh, no. I would hate to make you think.
Yeah, way to go. Okay, so Elaine's threatened with the power, and this pisses Egwene off, but... like, everything lately is pissing Egwene off, and her first instinct is to just attack.
Yeah.
Go on the offense.
That's the trauma talking.
And at least she, like, thinks better of it, and doesn't actually attack Elida right now.
Yeah, that'd be, like, so bad if the three of them attack an Aes Sedai.
Right now?
Like, right now? That'd be so bad.
Well, considering they've, like, literally been back for, like, an hour. Like, I don't even know how long it's been since they showed up back in Tarvalin here.
Probably a couple hours.
Yeah, not long.
No more than that.
No. So, Elida says that Elaine is to be the first queen of Andor ever to be Aes Sedai, and the first queen anywhere in over 1,000 years to be openly, like, an Aes Sedai, and this is very important to Elida, and she won't have anyone messing that up.
She's invested too much time.
Invested too much time. So, I think that this makes me... think that she's, like, genuine and not Black Aja.
Yeah, well, we do know it's, like, a huge credit to Elida and the Reds for finding an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
That's as strong as Elaine, and then if she also gets a throne, that's, like, huge props for the Reds.
Right, exactly.
That's kind of what it sounds like in the political game.
Yeah, right. Because it's all just, like, marketing ploys.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. Like, get people more on board with Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
basically. So... the fact that she's so proud of, like, being this Aes Sedai, and she wants somebody at like a high level to be an Aes Sedai. Like that sounds to me like somebody who is not
like nefarious
partnered with the Dark One. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So she then says that the three of them could be in danger. They left, and while they were away, Liandrin and her friends did all those bad things.
Yeah.
And now Elida needs to protect Elaine and wants to know where they have been.
Yeah.
And I just say, join the club.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know that.
And it's like another really funny connection because Elida, and I gotta kind of pair it back to what we've seen happen before already, is that Elida busts in and says, hey, Black Hajj Azrael, you're all in danger, which is what Liandrin did.
Yeah.
And then Elida here says, all these terrible things.
Protect you.
I can help you. Just tell me what you know. That's what Liandrin did to Lady Amalisa in Foldara.
Yeah, that's true.
She's like threatening, Lord Agelmar is a dark friend, maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me what you know. Help me out and I'll help you.
Yeah, I think the only issue here is that this isn't a lie.
Yeah.
And Liandrin was straight up lying.
Yeah.
So.
And like doing her little power trick on
Right,
Lady
and was
Amalisa.
actually hurting her.
Yeah.
So Egwene decides to tell Elida about Matt being very sick, and they left to go get him and bring him back here so the Amerlin can heal him.
Yeah.
So this is like one of those half-truths.
Well, they're trying really hard to like be Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And like be tricksy with words, and they're doing a terrible job of it.
Yeah, they gotta learn somehow.
They do.
They're really trying.
It's like practice.
Because they can't straight up say no.
They can't. Well, technically they could. They shouldn't, probably.
Yeah.
Because Elida would for sure know 100% right then. But it's like they're doing a bad job. And fortunately, Nynaeve like jumps in.
Yeah, and she thinks that's enough for sharing time. Yeah. And tells Egwene to shut up and tells Elida that the Amerlin told them not to speak. They're to be punished and have it put behind them. And then Elida takes up an interest in Matt. Like the fact that he's from the same village as Rand al'Thor, perhaps.
Yeah.
And now she wants to know about Rand. And I just think,
and this is
huge.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, because Elida has that.
Right?
She did that huge run-in with Rand where it's like, he's at the center of everything. Yeah. He's the most important person.
Right.
Yeah.
And when these ladies were gone, someone proclaimed themselves Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, she's definitely like putting like two and two together here.
Yeah.
And like doesn't paint a very nice picture because Elida knows so much because she knows that he's from like Emmons Field.
Yep.
And she knows that like Moraine took Rand away too.
Yeah.
Because she went hunting for him and couldn't find him because Moraine like scooped him away.
That's true in Camelin.
Yeah.
Right. And then on top of everything, she's a red and doesn't want, like, men around at all ever, especially ones who potentially can channel.
Yeah, there's, like, the exact target market here.
So, Elida is saying that now she thinks he must be Ta'Viren, and Nynaeve says, well, I hope he's well. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And she's, like, getting better?
Technically true.
Sort of,
there you go.
Her sneaky Aes Sedai sayings. But Elida wants to know more about Rand. Cue Sheriam entering and cutting off this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it sounds like this conversation is for sure going to be carried on again.
Yeah.
But, like, they at least can kind of, like, coordinate now.
Right. Because the last time we saw Elida, she was interrogating Min about Rand.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely Elida is one-track mind about Rand right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being put to rest, Sheriam is surprised that Elida is here, and Elaine says that she wanted to know about their disappearance, but they won't tell her. And Sheriam says, well, yeah, they're to be punished and we move on.
Mm-hmm.
And Elida leaves, and Elaine right away tells her that Elida threatened me with stilling if I don't stop being willful.
Yeah. No, not exactly.
Well, and Sheriam just sort of says, okay, don't worry, you'll never get to be an Aes Sedai if you aren't willful. The trick is learning how to pretend to appear meek.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good thing because you need Aes Sedai to be, like, strong-headed, basically. Like, you don't want meek and,
Well, that just reminds me of when Egwene was sneaking Rand into the women's apartments.
And Moraine was like, yep.
And Moraine was like, that girl will do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you need that, but you gotta pretend like
you gotta,
act like it.
you gotta do the yes I said I, business.
And it's kind of hilarious that she says that because immediately Nynaeve like goes back to not being willful.
I know, because then she's like, "Hey, what about that gray man's body? And who discovered about it? And did anyone know who killed him?" And
did you ask all these questions? Yeah.
And Sheriam is like, "Well, since you're talking about this pretty openly in front of Elaine, who obviously didn't know about this, you clearly didn't listen to me."
Yeah, and you told her, and she's not surprised. Yeah. So this isn't like the first. This is completely new information to me. Yeah.
So now there are 7 people in the tower who know that a man was killed today. Yeah. And Nynaeve keeps on going with her questioning, which isn't very tactful.
So who are the 7?
Okay, well, Sheriam.
Yeah.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Egwene.
Yeah.
Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Swan.
Okay.
Because the Amyrlin knows, right?
Well, we don't know that she knows.
I think she knows.
But that's the thing. That's the one we don't know for sure.
Oh, and
because
then,
she says the 2.
And then 2 warders.
Yeah, 2 men who hauled away the body, basically. Yeah. So, but yeah, the 7th is the one we don't actually know for sure. But we can assume it's Swan.
Well, yeah, because I found it interesting where she was like, "Don't talk about this again unless it's with the Amyrlin."
Yeah.
Right? And last time she was like, "Don't bring this up unless the Amyrlin brings it up to you."
Yeah, and that's kind of the question of...
So it's a little bit different. It kind of seems like the Amyrlin knows now.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure you're on track here, so...
Yeah. I won't be surprised if it's not, though.
Ooh, okay.
But I don't want to get into that, because I have no idea. You're going to ask me a bunch of questions I don't have answers to.
I'm just going to ask you a bunch of Aes Sedai names you haven't heard of before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, Sheriam had been talking with the Amyrlin because she got sent by the Amyrlin to come pick these girls up.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So,
assuming she told her at that meeting too.
Yeah. There was some interaction.
Yo, there's a gray man in here.
Yeah. Whatever. Go get those girls we're healing Matt.
Yeah. Now it's urgent.
I don't know.
Apparently.
I have no idea. Whatever. Okay. So Sheriam just shuts down Nynaeve's questioning and says, "You 3 will come with me." And Nynaeve goes, "Well, where are we going?" And Sheriam says, "To the healing, of course. Have you forgotten? The ones who bring the sick get to observe the healing."
Yeah, that's a good system, probably.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of...
Sure.
Making sure everybody knows that they're being healed properly, so...
Yep. And then Egwene bursts out before she can stop herself. Although she is going to heal him then.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. And Sheriam goes, "Well, did you have any doubt?" And Egwene just shakes her head, and off they go, because the Amyrlin is not to be kept waiting.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the end of that chapter. And then we get into some good stuff here.
Yeah.
Chapter 18.
This is very exciting.
Called Healing. There is the sword hilt picture.
Yeah.
Which in the past has been representative of Rand's heron-marked sword.
Typically, yes.
And here...
What are your thoughts?
It's obviously representative of the dagger.
So why wouldn't they just use the dagger symbol?
Oh yeah, there is a dagger symbol.
There is a dagger symbol.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask me to interpret
It's a tough one.
things.
It's a tough one.
I am not doing so well this
That's okay.
episode.
You're recovering from not being healthy, so.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
That's a nice excuse for me.
Okay. Just so you know, this chapter symbol is very confusing.
Okay.
There's not a definitive reason why it's the sword.
No, because there's no there's not a heron on it. There's not a ruby in it. It's...
I have a sort of theory, but it's not that great.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, we'll get to it. I'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay. Maybe it has to do with the power or something somehow.
I was going to go...
did Rand use the void,
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit more about it now, I guess, since we're going to dive into it. So during the healing, we kind of get the fact that there's a battle that he's reciting things from.
Sort of, yeah.
And that was probably 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably Manetheren.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that the sword just represents the battle from that long ago. It's the tie to Emond's Field, because that's where we first started seeing the sword.
Maybe.
Which is supposed to be Rand, but it's kind of loose. I'm not really sure.
It is loosey-goosey.
But, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So, Egwene... So, we're still with Egwene's point of view. They are all getting taken down to the halls beneath the tower, which is pretty creepy. And it's lit by torches, and there's no one around. And Cheriam gives them their instructions to not talk and keep out of the way. Like, you're here to observe only, not to hinder the process of healing.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Don't interfere.
Yeah. So they head into this basically empty room with like a table in the middle. And Matt is laying on the table, inches from death.
Yeah, hold on. You jumped over a couple things here.
What?
The most important thing is that Egwene is totally in her own head about, oh my god, what if Sheriam's leading us to our doom in the basement?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
She's like, because these are like the same hallways where the Black Aja like raided the Terangriel storerooms.
And there's hardly anyone down here.
And no one's here, and then what if she's leading us into a trap?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just kind of funny, like, yeah.
Yeah. I did skip over that, but...
We can continue now.
Okay. So, Matt's on the table, basically about to die. There are 9 Aes Sedai in the room around the table, with Swan at the head and Lyanna at the foot. Varen, Seraphil, Alana, and Anaya are among them, and those are ones we know.
Yes.
And then there's some white Aja sister that Egwene recognizes, but we don't get a name till later. And this is Brendas.
Yeah, we get Brendas, and then there's
That's
a couple others.
That's a terrible name.
It's like Brenda with an S.
Yeah, I know. It's so
but,
bad.
You know, it's not... Okay.
Brendas.
Hey, you try and come up with like
Brenda's
4,000
plural.
names.
I know. And like none of them are regular names.
But I gotta say, this is kind of... This is like the inner circle of who Swan trusts.
Yeah.
Because her whole deal in Faldara was like, only people I trust. So we can probably assume that these are ones that Swan trusts.
Right. Okay. So the rest, though, Egwene doesn't know or recognize, and Sheriam goes to join them. So it's going to take 10 Aes Sedai plus this crazy power Angriel. How do I say it?
Sa'angriel.
Sa'angriel.
Yeah, it's like, one of, if not the most powerful one that the entire White Tower has possession of.
Right. And
crazy.
These 3 chickies.
Yeah.
Thought they were just gonna wander
in and go and heal Matt.
Wander in and just heal him.
Hey, you never know, right?
So
you know what I gotta say?
Good thing they didn't.
But I want to give you props because last episode when we were talking about this, I really really liked and appreciated your theory where you were like, I think it's Matt's Ta'veren-ness.
Yeah.
That's like drawing the 3 girls to come and do something to save them. Because that's kind of how Ta'veren-ness. I'm going to use that as a verb or whatever. That's kind of how it works. Like, I need something. I'm going to pull the solution to me.
Yeah.
So I really like that theory.
I picked up from you that you liked what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I thought that meant I was right.
Oh, you were totally wrong.
I was so wrong. But you were like smiling and nodding. And you're like, yeah.
That was like a really good logical progression of how things work in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, but I was wrong.
But I mean, hypothetically, something like that could happen in the future.
Okay.
All
right. So, tell me about this crazy wand.
Yeah, it's super strong.
Yeah.
And that's all we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's really old too, and they don't know what it's made of.
Don't know what it's made of. Super strong.
I picture some really pretty quartz.
Okay.
Know those quartz countertops where they're a little bit sparkly?
Yeah.
That's what I picture this being made out of.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yay. Okay. Well, it's a little reminiscent of another really powerful wand.
Which one?
The Elder Wand.
Oh, okay. I get it. It's a Harry Potter reference.
It's used to control magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more powerful than all the other ones.
That's right.
So...
There you go.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the
best one. Yeah,
it's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know why they've been so difficult for me lately.
Well, we covered a lot of the basics, and I think that one of the issues was that Harry Potter, a lot of the fundamentals are very similar, but now we're kind of getting into it where it's a lot of repetition.
Yeah,
like we don't have to
There's not a lot of new stuff.
There's not new stuff yet. So don't worry, new stuff still comes up in this series.
Cool.
Yeah.
Powerful wand. Equals other powerful wand.
Cool.
You gonna take a shot now?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you have to go get your own, though. I'm not getting up and getting you one. Ooh, you got a good one there.
Yeah, it was the biggest one I could reach. Just because I can't really fit my hand in that shelf. But anyways, I got the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror shot glass.
Ooh, from Disney World.
Because we're in somewhere spooky.
Spooky.
Yep.
Okay.
And just for reference, we do know a little bit more about this Sa'angreal, the fact that they learn about it in their lectures.
Oh, yes.
So it's not like some big secret necessarily to Aes Sedai.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Cheers.
Only about 2 more months.
Yeah.
And I can join you.
You're like really close.
Well.
Plus, spooky Halloween baby.
A spooky Halloween baby, yeah. I hope not, actually.
Yeah, probably not.
But pretty close.
Yeah. Probably not, though.
Probably not.
But pretty close.
But pretty close. Okay. All right. So, Swan tells the rest of the Aes Sedai that they need to connect their flow of the power and be careful because the amount they need to heal Matt and separate him from the dagger is basically next door to killing him.
Yeah, and we've kind of heard these similar theories before on healing. It takes a lot out of the person being healed, too.
Yes.
Like, it's going to knock you off your feet for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And, like, if it's too severe of a wound, you can't heal because it'll just kill them from, like, shock.
Yes, okay. So, as the Aes Sedai do this, Egwene feels the urge to open up, too, and she has to fight it.
Yeah.
And then she also notices, like, Nynaeve is also feeling this pull and really wants to channel that much power.
Well, it's kind of cool that they can, like, feel the power from other people so much, though, that they want to, like, join in.
Yeah. So Matt begins muttering, and his back starts arching, and he is still clutching the dagger at his waist, but then his hand is forced away from the dagger, and he starts, like, growling and snarling, and Egwene is worried he's being killed, but Nynaeve says there's nothing that they can do right now. Like, they'll just ruin everything if they try.
Yeah, she's freaking out because she's like, we gotta do something.
Oh, Egwene,
it's like, no,
chill.
Like, you gotta trust somebody here, and I think, like...
Egwene needs more chill here.
Yeah, like, this group of women trying to heal Matt is probably, like, a good start to you.
They didn't pull you down here to witness his murder.
And then they're gonna murder you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not quite.
No. So then Matt starts yelling out in the old tongue.
Hold on.
Like before.
No.
Oh.
You missed something super important.
Uh-oh.
Okay, gotta point it out. Nynaeve says they have to trust them, and then she says that she feels that she could match about half the amount of power that's being channeled.
Yeah. With the crazy...
So 10 fully trained Aes Sedai with the most powerful Sa'angreal they have, and Nynaeve feels she can get close to half of that.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Okay, so she's got...
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay.
As much as 10 plus a Sa'angreal.
Right.
That's good. Okay.
Well, as much as 5 plus half a Sa'angreal.
Half a 10, 5, yeah. So like 4.5 plus, yeah.
Okay.
Gonna need a math equation for this,
Yeah. Okay, so then Matt starts yelling out in the old tongue.
Yes.
Like he has before.
Yeah,
his Manetheren battle cries.
Yes.
And then Egwene recognizes the old battle cries of Manetheren.
Yeah.
And thinks she understands it, but then doesn't. Just sort of like before.
Yes.
Because she thinks for a second she knows what he's saying, but then it's gone.
So they definitely have that little connection there.
Absolutely they do.
And we find out later this chapter that this is the paragraph where Matt's like yelling about battle phrases or something.
And like ordering soldiers.
Yeah. So we don't know exactly the context, but
yeah,
it's from about 2,000 years ago, which probably falls in line with like Manetheren.
Yes. So he also says something about the Red Eagle, right?
Yeah, of Manetheren.
Yeah.
And that's what he'd said before.
Yeah. So the dagger rises above him, and his eyes open, and he starts yelling at the Aes Sedai in the old tongue.
Yeah.
And Anaya takes out a small black box and uses some like kitchen tongs to take the dagger and shut it away in the box.
Yes.
Now Matt is screaming like crazy, and as soon as the box closes, his screams stop.
Yeah.
So this is some sort of warded box?
Well, here's an interesting thing, because we've kind of seen like some sort of warded box before used on the dagger.
Right.
The Horn of Valyr box, which seemed to like trap that, evilness away.
Right, which seemed like speculation.
It was.
But it was Celine who told us
It'll probably shield us. So maybe there's some truth to that the Horn of Valyr box is like a little bit magically warded, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And leads to my it's also fireproof theory,
Yeah.
That if it was in the inn, it wouldn't get like burned down.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
So,
probably not.
you know,
Okay.
it's a lot of speculation, but
No. Okay. So the glow of the Aes Sedai wink out, and the Amerlin says that the healing is done.
yeah.
And the Aes Sedai, some of them like sag visibly, like that's a lot of work.
Yeah, they're like sweating.
Healing. And Varen says that it's fascinating that anyone could have the old blood flow so strongly in anyone today.
Yeah.
And then she starts talking to Seraphel, the other Brown Aja.
They're doing like Brown Aja stuff where they're like trying to.
They're like ooh, cool.
Yeah. They're like writing down notes. What exactly did he say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then Nynaeve asks if he is healed, will he live?
Yes. So, I mean, this is important information because it seems like this has never, like, nothing like this has been done before.
Well, like, no one's been to Shatter Logoth.
Yeah,
like,
and, like, taken stuff out and then got brought to the tower. Like, this is new territory. So Swan is really using her wordplay to be like, yeah, maybe.
So Swan sort of ignores Nynaeve, I think, to just put her in her place a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't answer her right away, like, on purpose. So she orders Matt to be brought back to his room, and Egwene notes that he looks like he's sleeping, but his breathing seems to be easier.
Yeah, so that's, like, promising.
Right. So then Nynaeve demands to know if Matt is all right, and I think that's just a little bit of a call to Demandy Matt.
Okay, I like that.
Book 1.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, has the curse, like, spread to Nynaeve now?
No, okay. no. Nynaeve has always been demanding.
Yeah.
She doesn't need a curse to be demanding.
Well, it's kind of funny that I talk about that, though, because in the healing of Matt, we got an exact phrasing there where it's like his lips peel back in a snarl.
In a snarl, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like...
It wasn't rictus, though.
It wasn't rictus, but it definitely was like a skin peeling away from your teeth in a snarl. So
yeah.
That's just like clearly the Shatter Logothness.
More death.
Like trying to fight back.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of interested in this scene.
Speaking of more death, where's that guy?
Yeah, well, you know.
What's he up to?
What's he doing?
Yeah.
Last we saw him, he was...
Padden, Fane... Oh, no.
He was Ordeef with Pedronile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good name change.
Not really.
Strong. Good. Very different.
Okay, so Nynaeve is demanding. She wants to know if Matt's alright. Most of the other Aes Sedai have left, and Sheriam raises an eyebrow at Nynaeve. Like, remember who you're talking to. And so Swan finally regards her. She says that Matt is as well as he can be, and only time will tell. Who knows what the effect of Shatter Logoth will have on him.
Yeah, basically no idea.
Yeah, and right now he needs to rest and eat, but he should live. And then Elaine asks, what was that he was shouting?
Yeah, good to know.
And he was ordering soldiers in a battle 2,000 years ago. The old blood comes again.
We've heard that many times.
Yeah. So Nynaeve says, well, that wasn't all a battle. I heard him say Aes Sedai.
Yeah, she calls her out on that pretty fast.
Yeah, and Swan says that for Matt, the past and the present had become one, and he was there, but also here, and he was commanding them to release him.
Yes.
Which is great.
Very cool.
Yeah. And he says, I am a free man, Aes Sedai. I am no easy meat.
No Aes Sedai meat. But yeah, same line.
Yeah. Same Rand line.
Same Rand line as same Ingtar line.
Speaking of Rand, how's that guy doing? We've gone so far in this book without having.
Well, we got we got like a half a
I can't believe how many chapters we've had of just Egwene's perspective.
Yeah.
Like I was complaining
and
about
a heck
Perrin.
of a lot of Perrin. So
I know Perrin was boring as heck, but Egwene, at least this is interesting.
Yeah.
But I want to know what's happening with everyone else.
I know.
I was so spoiled at the end of the Great Hunt. Like, in one chapter, I could have 4 perspectives.
Oh, yeah, like back and forth, and this is happening, an action scene here.
And you know everything.
So, yeah.
And now I just have no idea.
Nothing, one perspective.
What's everyone
so tough.
doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Matt's talking about not being easy meat. Rand's talking about not being easy Aes Sedai meat.
Yeah.
So
now we need Perrin on board.
We need another connection there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Egwene rebuts that Manetheren was allied with Tar-Valon, and Swan says that you can never really know the heart of a man.
Well, and it's also like if his crazy past and present brain of whatever's going on there, like we don't even know why Matt is getting these like visions or memories or old tongue of ordering soldiers from 2000.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We don't know anything about that. So it's really hard to say, like, yeah, you might be allies, but what does that really mean?
Yeah.
Like, you still don't want to be...
especially, like, an individual person.
Yeah, like, if you saw a 10 Aes Sedai around him doing something to him and he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get that, too.
So, Sheriam says that it is late and the cooks will be wanting their helpers. The pot scrubbers.
The pot scrubbers.
Yeah, and Egwene wants to avoid this and asks if she can stay with Matt, but Swan says, nope. Go do your chores.
But by chores, she means...
She definitely means more than pot scrubbing work.
Hunt the Black Aja.
Yeah.
So.
Right. All right, and then that is the end.
Yeah.
Of this chapter.
This is very exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I don't have anything else to say for this episode except you gotta go read.
Yeah.
Because what you've been waiting for is about to happen.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling for this one.
No spoilers. Spoilers, no spoiling. Go read the next chapter.
I know, I'm excited. I'm excited to do so. So I'm going to wrap things up and say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Scott Williams, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Michelle O'Brien, Derek Benton, Benjamin, and Derek Schluter, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.